Clash of Clans, Episode 4. Skilly beep 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 skilly beep. Thunderbirds are go. And we're back. Clash of Clans with the fans in the stands. I'm here with John Gotti on the shot. It's Scotty, and I'm your pal, Biggity Boneyard.
Biggity B.
We're here in the live in the soundstage at BSMT Radio. That's Scotty's basement.
The ever-evolving sound studio.
The ever-evolving sound. So we got some new hangings, got some eggshells held up by beer cans on the table, blocking the mic out. I think we're sounding pretty good.
Yeah, we're working it.
So episode 4, we're back, and we got some things to talk about.
Yeah, and we're finally going, I think, smooth now. I think we're finally getting the hang of the sound, and things are going pretty good. So
we're getting hits from everywhere. Lots of shout-outs to be had. First of all, Scotty, tell me all about this Facebook nonsense you're talking about.
Okay, so last week on the podcast, well, I guess it was Sunday, so it was only a couple days ago, but making up for episode 3, I announced that we have the Clash of Clans Facebook page, which we do have. However, on trying to find it myself, it was under Clash Clans podcast.com. So I went in and changed it to all one word, clashofclanspodcast.com. So if you are looking for us on Facebook, please like us. Then you can see all the new updates and things that will link you to the new pictures.
If you are looking for us on Facebook, you are a nerd.
I
don't understand how that works.
Boney doesn't even know what Facebook is. So if you go to our page on Facebook and like us, we'll keep you all up to date, just like on the blog, clashclanspodcast.com. Where we have posted Boneyard's raid pictures from last week, which I didn't see him at the time that we were doing this. So to me, it sounded like he really cleaned up. I don't know so much.
Well, I got in there and got what I wanted.
Yeah, you got in there and got what you wanted.
I wasn't trying to defeat him 100%. I wasn't trying trophies. I just wanted to get into that sweet spot and get his $200,000 in gold.
I was expecting a little bit more, but
yeah, I got what I want.
So yeah, there's the mortar standing, and so go in there, tell us what you think. Also, posted a picture of Boneyard's setup. Give Boneyard some feedback on that. What you would do different, what you think is working. After this podcast, I will also be posting my layout, which is in desperate need of some makeover, but it's
rearranging there.
It's holding steady right now because I've just been keeping it there to focus on building my walls.
What's new with you and your setup for the week? Anything? Updates? What's going on?
I've been having a difficult week in Clash of Clans.
Isn't that every week for you? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I suppose it is. But this week's a little bit different because anybody that's listened to the podcast will know that I have been working really hard on upgrading all my pumps and elixir and sacrificing
You're not there
time.
Yet?
I am there. I am done. But, because I can't play Clash of Clans 24 hours a day, I've actually had, and I hate to say this, I'm embarrassed by it. It's really repulsive, but I've had a couple lazy builders. One lazy builder. Because I'm used to being able to do one big thing a day, but when these things came through, and I've been constantly upgrading defenses and things like that. Now the big number is, $200,000 is where really I'm looking for the next upgrade. I didn't have enough time to get up there, so my builders have been lazy for 15 hours at a time while I
15 hours? What a waste.
Yeah, what a waste. And, like I said, I hate to admit it. And, but I guess that's what comes when, you're getting up there and all of a sudden things are coming at once. And
it starts getting real expensive.
It starts getting really expensive. And so I'm really looking forward to starting to upgrade my wizard towers again. I just hit a couple 4 or 5 day things. And so hopefully this weekend I can make a big run for it, have a little bit of extra money in the bank while I'm waiting for things to finish. And getting closer and nearer to that epic Town Hall number 9. I do have 5 archers still to upgrade, and 3 wizard towers, but everything else, I think besides my air defense.
Cool.
I did the boring things last week with the air defenses.
Yeah, I barely even
It's
need
painful, but you know, I needed some money, and I think that as you get farther in the game, it sure takes a lot of time. Sure glad my mines and pumps are going. How about you, Boneyard? What's been new with you?
Well, I ran into some problems last night, and I really got to give a hate speech to this guy named Ian Eco.
What? Okay, Ian Eco. How do you spell it?
IANICO, all one word, all lowercase. This fucking guy, I tell you what. I was saving up for I have my dark elixir storage all the way up to level 3 because I'm like, all right, I gotta get.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me just preface this by, Boneyard and I were on our clan chat last night, and all of a sudden profanities start flying. And I was having some problems with raids. He was pissed off, and he said, I can't wait to go off on this.
This fucking guy. Let me tell you something. Okay, whatever, it's the game, but I was so mad. Okay. I had been saving up Dark Elixir so I could finally get the go to level 2 Barbarian King.
Level 2.
Because
moving in for the kill.
I got 10 grand. I better hang on to this. I only need 2 more grand. Finally, I got it up to almost 20 or 1,300 or 13,000. And I'm like, I got enough. All I need is to wait 12 hours, and I can bust this Barbarian King up to level 2. I come back on, and I've been saving it. I've been hiding out, and I've been leaving my shields on so I can wait. I come back on with 12 hours left. This guy took 636 Dark Elixir from me.
Because you let your pumps go.
Knocked me all the way back down to 1,200. I was so mad that I went in there. I revenged him immediately, and got 200 of it back. It was good.
I can't even imagine. Did you get up and stomp around?
I was throwing my phone at the ground. I was mad, and I went and got some of it back. And then I just went and I just stayed up, and it was last night late. And I just stayed up till 1 a.m, attacking people until I had enough. And then
did you have to raise your trophies? Where were you at trophy wise?
That's the problem is that I was up at 1,100, 1,200 trophies. So these guys were wiping me out when they did hit me. And that's how we got in there and got all, destroyed my thing and got all 5%. Well, that was still 600 Dark Elixir. So
what did the guy hit you with that was so big and spectacular?
He didn't do too bad. He came in with some bomb guys and 12 giants to knock out the same thing I did. He knocked out my wizard tower, came in that way. And then just dumped a gob swarm, and they just went in and cleaned up.
Took it off.
But they didn't take everything out.
Right.
But they went towards the Dark Elixir, and they took that.
Well, and that's the thing when you're at that point when you're looking for Dark Elixir, you'll sacrifice your army.
600 is a good haul.
It's a good number.
So I stayed up until I got enough. Till I got the 12,500 enough for the
and you had
level
a builder
2
ready.
Oh, no, I went ahead and de-gemmed myself 131 gems just to finish my, I finished my clan castle to do that. And then 12 hours.
Because of your, and this is the one thing that I wondered at that point. So I'm at a level 3 builder, right? And so I'm looking around trying to figure out whether or not, do you have to have a builder to upgrade your king? Because when you first build your king, you don't have to have a builder.
Yeah, he just shows
automatically. But then it goes in 12-hour increments. So I waited, and thankfully I waited, and it goes 12.
No, it's 1 day. Upgrade to level 3 is 1 day.
Yeah, 24 hours. Because you did 12.
It goes 12, up by 12, right.
That's what I love about the Barbarian King, even though he's a complete idiot. It does make a difference as you keep going up. But I like that it goes incrementally, not like the other things
which double and double and double, yeah.
So, okay.
So anyway, so I did that 12 hours later now, and then after that, he finally woke up and he's running around at level 2, and then I had another builder get ready at the same time. So I had 4 million regular elixir. What am I going to do with this? So I went ahead and dumped it on 2 barracks at once. It's a 2-day upgrade. I've sacrificed.
It is the most painful upgrade in the game,
Yeah,
I think.
the barracks, because you can't make any guys while that's doing it. So I went ahead and did 2 of them at once. Kind of screwed myself, but it's only 2 days, and I'll be happy when they get done together later on.
That's the thing, and especially if you go away for a weekend or you do something, that's where I go, hey, wait, let's do that. I'm sitting at a level 5, and I haven't unlocked the dragons out of the barracks yet.
I've got the dragons in 1, and the rest.
I should have done it over Christmas. I should have done it.
Yeah, the rest of them I don't even have heal. I just did the dragons because I wanted that achievement.
Yeah.
And to get knock that out of there, I was.
But they give you 3 gems a day by clearing out those.
I've got like 37 trees in my.
Yeah, well, if you've got 37 trees, you've got about
10 gems or something.
10 gems sitting there, and so I go up in gems. I use the gems here and there, just speed things up, only so that I can lower my bedtime if I have to go to bed, because some of those nights you're going for it, and it's like
you get up there,
1:32 in the morning,
and
you
can't
like,
shut it down because you're gonna lose all your gold, and right.
Yeah, so you don't want to do that. So
that's where I'm at. I really, it's just I got a couple of barracks going up, and a couple other things that actually I've got 30 minutes until my Tesla is up, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't have enough gold to do anything. I might have to just do the third. So you might have
a lazy builder. So today, what we're going to talk about, and before we get into the tactics and stuff,
we're going to talk about Scotty's tactics
got
today.
A fantastic new discovery that he's going to share.
Oh, yes, Tesla Tower.
But before we get into that, I do want to give a shout out again to Sir Titus and Sa Drogo from the Garista Air Brigade.
Big up.
Big up. Sorry if I mispronounce Garista Air Brigade, but it starts with an S. So not sure. Thanks for commenting. And Titus said he shared it all with his clan, so thank you. Big up to Hansel Boots, Boots Electric. I'm trying to think of the clanmates that ended up giving us a shout out on iTunes. So please, if you're listening to this and you like it at all or hate it, like I said, hate mail is good. No hate mail yet. It's quite good. A shocker.
Yeah, right.
Good. No, I think
assholes on the radio. Somebody's got to hate us, right?
You just turn it off, right?
I guess, right.
They're not worth giving a 1 star to. So thanks to the clanmates, the few of you that went to iTunes and did it. I appreciate it. Just saw it the other day. Thanks, Titus, again, and Sa Drogo, for who I'm guessing is from Australia. And the only reason I say that is because the stats on the things that Australia, and said cheers at the end of his comment. So yeah,
I see.
We like those Australians. That's where Crocodile Lee was from.
You know what? I just was watching that just the other day. Just this morning, actually, Crocodile Dundee was driving the cab home. Well, it's a man dressed like a Sheila. And he grabs that dude's junk.
See,
and he gets in the cab, drives home.
If you
get out of the way, you Dobie! Get on the right side of the road, you pelican! That's my favorite scene.
See, if you listen to the last episode, you know that Boneyard butchered Darth Vader. So we're gonna before Boneyard keeps going on here. Jesus.
The Tesla trick. Oh, yeah.
Yes, the Tesla trick. We sat down to start talking about what we're going to talk about on today's podcast. We know we're going to talk about my defenses. But Boneyard shared a fantastic
I got to tell you this one.
Idea.
I was battling this guy, and you know how you see on the inside of a wall, there's a 3x3 square, and it's empty. And when that happens, that means that there's a hole right in the middle of it, right? In that middle square, there's a hole.
So, like when you're building that square, you would try to figure out where to put the
Tesla tower, right?
Yeah.
So, people, if you see that, you're like, oh, I'm going to drop a guy right in that hole.
And you can't
do it. You can't. There's a Tesla there.
Right.
So I went, and that was the way I wanted to go in anyway. So I dropped some archers, and they were the Tesla tower popped up, and they defeated that thing. And then I was like, well, I wonder if I can go in that hole. And I dropped a barb in that hole right there on the other side of the wall, and it worked. He dropped right in there. Once I defeated that Tesla tower, that hole opened up.
Okay, so
It was no longer
you saw
blocked.
that hole, you attacked it.
I tried to drop a guy in the hole, realized there was a Tesla tower there because it didn't work. So I defeated that Tesla tower. Then I was able to drop guys in the hole on the other side of that wall.
Ooh.
Right? And then so I was like, well, and I just dropped the whole barbed swarm on the inside of the wall and then dropped the rest of my archers on the inside of the wall, and they cleaned up.
And I got to tell you, when you told me that, and what we also talked about right after that was that when you go in and if there are a bunch of tombstones sitting there,
the graves that are
that might be an indication that Tesla was not.
It's not rebuilt.
It's not rebuilt yet.
If there are graves there, that means that the guy probably hasn't come back and hasn't rebuilt his stuff. Teslas don't rebuild themselves, just like the bombs and the traps. If you see graves everywhere, you can probably suspect that the traps and the bombs have been set off, especially under those graves. And the Tesla tower might be destroyed, so you can try and drop right in that hole.
And even the big implication of this is that if you see a hole and you can't get into it and you can drop 10, 15 archers, take it out before they take it out, then get your army inside of the wall.
Yeah, get it right in that hole.
And
that's huge.
And who knows, at that point, or your clan, all your clan reserve troops, if you could drop all those, even if you got to the very end and you'd taken out a Tesla, maybe you could throw that in there.
Yeah, you can drop your clan guys in there,
That tells me a lot about my strategy about how I'm going to set up my camp, because
you don't set a 3x3 hole.
Knowing that,
my Teslas that are inside are in 2x3, so they're even when they're destroyed, there's no hole in there for them to get dropped into.
Yeah, that's a huge realization, because it's something I never thought about. It's something I never even attempted to do after trying it the first few times.
Yeah,
and it's not something you think about.
There's obvious Tesla. Take that Tesla out, drop your guys in that hole, wipe that nerd out.
Right. And we talked about last week on Boneyards, offensive, defensive, things that we're scared about. Expo. I got the shit kicked out of me last night by an Expo. Hugely kicked out of me. I did know that they had to be refilled by
they work
the
on
elixir.
Yeah, they work on elixir.
So I went looking for the answer today on how, like the Expo, if they have a preference for who they attack and all the defenses, and really there was no preference that I found. Of course there's batch damage and shit like that, but the Expo, you can tell apparently whether or not, and maybe I'm just an idiot here, because there's a lot of things I found out in doing this podcast and talking to people and every week learn a lot about the game.
Right.
But you can tell if the Expo is loaded or unloaded if there is a purple piece in it, and also if it's tipped up. And I can't really describe, but how it looks. But if it's tipped up, and I would imagine when you come across an Expo, if it's tipped to like a 45-degree angle, it can be set as an air defense or ground defense. If it's laying flat on the ground defense, it has a weakness because you can tack it with air things. I don't use any
and I
air
think
things,
its range is much greater if it's set to ground.
It's I think like a few more tiles or whatever, but you can tell if it's loaded and unloaded. If the string is drawn back, it looks like. If it is not loaded, it's dead in the water. So that's something that I'm going to start looking for when I go raiding, because I was looking at how much it costs to refill it, and it's like 70,000 or 90,000 elixir to refill that Expo, and that's a lot of elixir, especially if you're raiding for elixir. So I don't think everybody. I think it would be a major deterrent, but if you
I hate crossbows expos, but now that I know to check to see if they're even loaded, obviously, if there's gravestones, that expo's probably dead in the water. It probably is. But you can check on the expo itself. That's huge.
Yeah, zoom in and check. And from what it looked like, and what I showed Boneyard was just a printout, but in the picture, it looked like it was obviously cocked back, and there was like little purple stripe right up the middle. So that'll tell you. So
Interesting.
So we got, a couple tips right there.
I'm gonna go. If you want to look at an expo, go to the top clans. Go to your top guy in the top clans. Check his thing out because it's probably fully loaded.
Yeah, and I can post the loaded expo pictures on the website clashofclans.com, clashofclanspodcast.com.
clashofclanspodcast.com.
Boop beep beep doop
Beep boop skiddly.
All right. So those are a couple really good tips that we just learned in the last few hours. So
in the last while
if
you were just
have
talking,
some that you want to share.
While you were just talking, I took 250,000 total from Jackson 2303. Fuck that guy.
Another famous guy. We still haven't heard from DJ M.
Yeah, I made you famous. Yeah, DJ M. What a punk.
I probably won't make anybody famous tonight, but so
now I have to.
So this is
fill my army camps with only 2 barracks. It's going to take about an hour.
An hour.
What a pain.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
That's 16, why I like going
it'll take
junior
40,
army barracks if you can do it when you're going to do an 8-day thing and can stand to be away from the game for a few days, or just donate troops for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to find something else to play with. Speaking of something else to play with, I was looking at the app jobs in the app thing, and I was looking at stuff. They've got a bunch of Clash of Clans apps now. I think Scotty had mentioned the
app calculator.
The calculator for Clash of Clans, 99 cents. Like I'd pay money for that.
Yeah.
And there's
when
also
you go to the Clash of Clans wiki, just type it in Google, Clash of Clans wiki. It's a fantastic resource. We love those guys that are doing the Clash of Clans wiki to get a hold of us. That would be awesome.
Some cross
comments
there.
At clashofclans.com. That's just the standard clashofclanspodcast.com. That's just the standard. Scott. That's just the standard all-encompassing email. So
there's another one, strategy guides for Clash of Clans. That's $2. Like I'd pay for that. But then there was a Clash Tactics for free, and boo, I don't know if I need bother. And then there was this other thing called Clash New, as Clash of Clans New, but it basically was the Jewel game. With the clan guys themselves.
I honestly think the wiki is the best thing ever because, people go in there, share the stuff, ask the questions. It's pretty cool. Boneyard's never been there. He's really, like I said in episode 1, he's new to the internet. If it wasn't for the iPhones, Boneyard would still be living in the old age.
I'd be playing Snake on
passing notes.
I'd be playing Snake on my Nokia.
And that was an upgrade for him at the time, I'm sure. It's 2008. I finally got a Nokia.
A buddy of mine, I was joking on that. A buddy of mine actually sent me a Snake app. It was a Nokia Snake app. So when you load it up, it's the keypad for the Nokia and the little screen.
Flashback to 2010.
Well, flashback to 1989 or 1999 when I first got my cell phone and had the same one forever. But yeah, you play a little Snake on there.
All right. Well, we're getting a little off topic, Boneyard, because of inadequacies with technology. So
anyway, tactics.
Okay, tactics.
Strategy. Tactics. Let's get it on with Scotty.
All right.
827. Why the 827?
That
Scotty was taken?
It's my birthday.
Oh, all right.
August 27th. So,
well, all right.
Yeah. So set me apart, I guess. So I don't really have a lot of
tactics.
Advice.
You don't have a lot of
actually, probably
we're still going to find out how you do your thing now.
Okay.
A couple of episodes ago, we talked about this. I think it was the one that we didn't use because of the volume, and I was giving you advice on your setup because you had all your mines lined up on one side. We might have talked about this last time a little bit, right?
Yeah. So I had all my mines set up on one wall, all my elixir on the other wall.
Not a great idea. Yeah, it looks like you got it nice and mixed up now. Not a great idea because somebody wants to come in and you got a lot of stuff sitting in those mines. They're just going to take them out and get out of there.
Right. So I changed that up right after the Lost podcast.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better. I can do a little bit more with it. I like to have my builders' huts all in a row because that way I can go from one to the other.
Your
not my builders' huts, but my barracks. So I can go in there and go, loop, and I have a really solid formula, like I said on episode 3. I'm pretty OCD about it.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's start with your defenses. It looks like you got your stuff compartmentalized pretty well. Everything's real good and spread out. I don't really see any holes. If I wanted to go in and get some of your shit, well,
there's a few holes in there.
I'm building up. I guess I would come in from the top, maybe. Try to come down through that cannon and then into the gold. But see, you got it all split apart. It's a real good way to do it.
I think it's a solid. I know that there are places I could put the walls, and now knowing about the Tesla tricks, there's things that I would change. I know I need to change my air defenses, but I'm still waiting for that one to get done. They were in different places. I don't know where things are going to go after that.
But you got a sleepy builder.
Yeah, and I've got a sleepy builder, but I'm really, because I'm a little bit behind now because of after the elixir pumps and the mine upgrades, I was working on walls. I spent last week, I think I said I spent $5 million upgrading walls, and I would say that walls are incredibly important.
Yeah.
And
I did the same. There was a couple of actually since the picture that is shown of my camp, the walls have changed a little bit. Not the placement, but I put all the purple ones. I put all the new blue ones. I lined them up on the outside.
Yeah, and
so I think because that's where people were coming in.
And you had given me some good advice about that, and I started putting them on the corners when I in doubt of where to put them in a wall. I want to start them in the middle of the wall, but really it doesn't matter because you can just take your bombers and go to a different part. So I did put them on the corner because that is a weak.
The inside corners where walls meet because the guys naturally go there because they want to open up 2 compartments.
Yeah.
If they go through right in the middle of a wall, you're just getting to the next compartment. If you go into that inside corner, you're going to bust open into 3 more compartments.
So what I
so
with my
staggering your walls is a big thing. Making sure that you don't have like an actual X where 4 spots meet in 1 brick.
Right, because then you go into 4 things. So what I started doing, because I'm working on my outside walls, I had them on the inside, and I haven't moved them, but I did start with the corners and start moving in. I need to get back to doing that. And I used to keep a builder that was just for walls. That was back when they cost a lot less. So while I'm waiting for shit to upgrade, I could just go upgrade a couple walls, upgrade a couple walls. And now that they're a little bit more expensive, my kind of goal or my thought is try to do at least 1 or 2 a day because they add up over time. And, going to those 500 walls, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
But if you've got your good defenses, if you've got things upgraded on the inside, the thing is you need to have those walls to stop them so that those defenses have a little bit of time to kick some ass.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
Agreed.
And I think it's either a deterrent for most people, but also, and then you've got like high level people coming down, kicking the shit out of you, but they still can't. Yeah. It's still going to take a while. They're still going to do it. So,
but if I came across yours and it was a couple hundred of each, I'd pass it.
You'd pass?
I wouldn't, unless it was all in the outside and I could run around.
I do have to say, my camp has sat more now that I've upgraded walls. I've been focusing on those blue walls than before, especially on the inside. Because they're like, well, once you get through, then it doesn't matter. But my interior walls are becoming blue now. And so that's where I'm focusing a little bit more because then it's like going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, getting through all your different compartments isn't going to be easy. You'd have to, I would do it with almost all archers.
And that's the one thing that's a huge deterrent for me is the walls. I don't know how many times I've run into high level, level 9 people with shitty walls.
Actually, you know what? I'd go in through the bottom right because I could get to 2 of your mortars with archers pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully, but those level 6 mortars will take out a whole bunch of archers right at one time if they
that's true.
Yeah, and by no means do I think my setup is perfect. I think this was Trinity's initial idea, the way because my town hall has a little snake around it. It's always weird that town hall sitting in the middle is like a 3. It doesn't quite fit with all the other squares.
It's 4x4 instead of 3x3.
Yeah, and so it doesn't fit with the other squares. And I saw that, and I built on that idea. and it's been working all right. I've definitely won more or defended successfully against way more than beforehand. So. So I don't know, when I go up to 9 and I get more walls, I don't know how I'll change it.
Yeah, that's going to be iffy. It's a whole.
So, and I study other people's
thing.
shit as I walk in and try to fight them. And
that asshole from last night, Ian Co. I actually took a picture. Maybe we'll post it.
We'll post it because I want to see Boneyard's arch nemesis.
He's got a blue beetle set up where it's like a picture of a beetle. And
that's pretty cool.
No, fuck that guy.
Except for that one guy who had that penis one.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Here, take a look at it, Scotty. Yeah, he's got this beetle going on. See that?
All right. Yeah, I will definitely post this. Yeah. It's pretty cool. And you kind of wonder how you'd go in on that one.
I came in through the side and I went after his dark elixir pump because that's what I wanted.
And I think those wall configurations can really fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
You want me to start talking about my troops a little bit?
Yeah, let me ask you, what is your troop configuration? What do you make?
Okay. Here is, and I'm looking right at the screen right now in terms of what I make, and this is my standard. Okay. It is 14 giants.
14 giants.
6 bombers.
6 bombers.
57 barbarians.
57 exactly barbarians.
42 archers and 25 gobs.
42 and 25 gobs. All right.
Okay. And so
it seems kind of random.
Right. And so, and let me preface this because Boots Electric last night was talking to me. Trinity was talking to me on clan chat and talked about, and, after episode 3 and Boneyard strategy, I thought, you know what? Before we record this podcast, how about I try out some different things? And so I started doing some mix-ups of troops last night. And
how did it change?
Failed miserably. I think I had like 3 battles or 2 battles in a row where I got like 8,000 gold and like 6,000 elixir.
Suck it.
And I'm
200 troops. That's what you came up with.
Yeah, that's what I came up with. And I'm like, no way. Boneyard's talking about this. Boots Electric, it was talking about it. And then Trinity was saying, thanks for the tips, Boots. And Boots had said to me, he said, I consider 5 barbarians 1 giant. And so, so I was trying it out and I was trying to play around with it. And, basically what I found out, and it's always my frustration with troops, right, is you go in, you have an idea, and they don't do what you want them to do.
They don't go in the place
they take off in a damn direction that you didn't think that they were supposed to do. And, and what I've always said about the Barbarian King, I wish he was customizable. I think it should be an avatar that you can aim and point. And so I started, today.
Think about even the goblins. If you could make them gold-seeking goblins versus, that would be a huge thing, and that would be super fun to do that. Dark elixir only.
Yeah, dark elixir. That's your target.
Maybe it costs you twice as much to make them that way, or something to specialize them. There have to be some trade-off,
right? And so I knew that there's troops attributes that I liked. And I do not send in giants I send them in like almost all at once. I do 1 probing giant and a bomber. So that way I don't get a whole horde of giants like shot up in the air by a damn spring. So I was thinking about it today, and so I went on the wiki and I'm looking around and I was thinking, well, is there certain defenses that target certain troops? And I couldn't find anything about that.
Well, Tesla.
Yeah, the Tesla gets twice the damage
power
on the Pekka. I say Pekka. He says Pekka. I don't know. If you know the correct pronunciation, leave a comment.
2 Ks,
I'd like
it's Pekka. All right.
But yeah.
And if you know what Pekka stands for, comment on it. What is the PEKKA? What is that all about?
Yeah, what is that? So, anyway, so I realized after experimenting, and I'm willing to do some more experimentation.
Hey-o. Try anything twice, right?
I like to have those troops, and that's why I make them up how I do, that target certain things. because then I can trust certain ones to be not complete morons.
Yeah, right.
You know.
All right. Well, that's that. Let's talk about how you use those things. Why don't we find a guy for you to fight?
So, in the spirit of last week's podcast, I am going to go and
let's make somebody famous.
Make someone famous, or me a complete asshole.
Let's see what happens.
So here's how
Let me ask you a question. What are you looking for? First of all, what are you going for right now? Gold, elixir, what?
I don't go for anything other than
looking for a payday.
It has to be at least $100K of each.
Of each, yeah. That's
unless I'm in desperate need
of something.
And usually I will pass up if it's only like 115 gold. I'll usually pass it up.
Okay.
If I'm looking, I don't usually spend a lot of money. Because they seem like they pop up, but it depends on the time of day.
That's true.
And now that it's worldwide, things change.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking for, like, there's this one right here, Noob 007. He's got 216.
I busted that guy before.
Did you?
Yeah, that's funny. I was like, you can't be a noob and James Bond, asshole.
Yeah. But he had like 200,000 elixir. So I, definitely go for that. I try to make up. It cost me, I think, about 65K to build my army.
See, that's a big amount. It only cost me 30.
But
so I can go in and go after something a little less.
And so there's this guy. He was 85. He had 200K of each. No, and I'm still searching. Still
hitting that button now. All right.
Okay, so there's a level 62. His name is Buggy. Okay, so I'm looking at the camp. He's got purple walls on the outside. His town hall's under construction. His mortars. Here's the big determinant for me. If you've got a level 6 mortar, you can almost guarantee I won't touch you, because it scares the shit out of me, because I know how tough they are. So what I will do is I will spread out my archers, but I touch the screen and do them in a wide arc. And then I'll set a couple giants in over an army camp, especially if it's right up against it, to cover my bombers. Once my bombers make it through that wall, I'll send them through to the inner wall. I want to make sure that I can get through in a straight line and break as many through as I can. Now, those damn cannons, those things are like the bomber's worst nightmare, because they seem to ignore everything else at a given moment unless directly attacked. And so what I'm doing right now is my giants are going in, and then I send out my barbs in batches. But
how many, like 4 or 5 at a time?
Yeah, about 4, 5, 6 at a time.
Keep them separated.
Keep them separated enough.
Gotta keep them separated.
And this is the people that I have a lot of trouble with, are the people that compartmentalize everything. And then all my shit gets stuck in one spot, and then the bombers
And then you just send your gobs in sections too. See, I would send the gobs in as a swarm because they move so fast.
Right, but if the barbs are in there taking out a tower, or taking out the treasure, which they usually get to first, you've already got mortars after you. So at this point, I am not doing the best, so I'm going to release my troops from the clan, which are a bunch of gobs, a bunch of archers, and they're going to go after the treasure. And, somebody gave me a balloon. Little did I know, and I should have checked first, that most of the gold was in the mines.
Mines in the pump.
Pump. So
you went into the center, even though that stuff was out and about on the outsides?
And maybe I'm a little caught up in the podcast. I like to believe that. But
did you take a picture of that beforehand?
No, I did not.
All right, that's all right. Take a picture of it.
But I'll take it afterwards.
Take an after shot.
I put out my king just because, we're on the air here, and he's getting his ass kicked before he did any good. So, I will take a picture here quick. I should have done it beforehand. There's a bunch of things left. So Buggy, he had a bunch of money. I didn't end up using any of my, I like the healing potion. So I got 140 grand in gold. I got 180 in elixir and 29 in dark elixir.
It's not bad. It's a haul.
8 trophies. That's a good haul for me.
That's a decent haul.
think,
You know, you doubled up your elixir from your.
Yeah.
Hey, dog, quit snoring.
Yeah, I doubled up my elixir from what I paid.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of gold.
Got a chunk of gold. You got a little dark elixir. Not bad. Did you wipe the guy out?
No, not completely.
2, 3 stars. What do you got? 2?
I got 7 trophies.
So you got 1 star probably.
I'll be able to tell you in the picture. I quite remember.
All right.
So, you know, I guess going in and looking at how I attack, it's really about letting the giants do their work, and I like to do them. I know they cost more, but after last night, I'm more affirmed in the idea that a targeted defense or offense is better because they're going to go after things. Now, I know that you can lead. So a lot of times I'll send in the giants, right? And then they'll start to go one direction. But if I throw a bomber in after it and it gets closer, if it opens up a wall closer to where they need to go, then they'll go in after it.
Yeah, they'll turn.
Yeah, and then I can send in the barbs and shit afterwards.
They'll go after the closest thing that they're supposed to, and if there's a wall open, they'll go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, lead them in. Like I said, I don't use bombers, but I know they work sometimes. So, you know,
I like the bombers, but
I'll brew up special armies.
And so and I found out today also on the wiki that the wall pieces that are adjacent, you know, connected or whatever, it's called spiking, I guess.
Okay.
Which sometimes have problems, but I've got level 5 bombers, and so
the first
I always do 6.
The first one's taking out the spike. The other 5 are taking out the wall behind it.
Yeah. And so one of my tactics also, and this is kind of you probably do this. Before I go into battle, I start training the next round of troops.
Oh yeah, my barracks are always the queue is always
because I mean you gain another 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, you do it for you're in that thing for 3 minutes. I can make, I don't know, 2 dozen barbs in that 3 minutes.
And especially if you're waiting for your stuff, one thing to get done, you almost have a full giant, or you could have a full giant before you even went to battle. That would automatically release. The next one would start training, so you'd already have 4 minutes down by the time you're done.
Yeah, right.
So I do my bombers. I train my bombers first and my giants first, because if I come back and I don't need all my bombers, then I can just cut 1 or 2 out. And then I don't end up, a couple times I've ended up with like 8 or 9 bombers, and I don't need that because usually...
Well, you can always keep them too. You don't have to use them every time. You know, it means that you got 2 or 3 less barbs or archers, but you got the bombers for next time.
Yeah. So I guess that's really my strategy is...
What was that guy's name? Buggy?
Buggy.
Stupid Buggy.
Buggy.
In your face, dude.
Yeah. Slaying nerds.
Yeah, well, you didn't really slay him.
Well, and what I said to Boneyard last night about, what's his name that slaughtered you?
Ian Eco.
He's getting all mad. Guess who's the nerd now?
Yeah, I guess I was the nerd that got slayed. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I'm the nerd with the podcast, fool.
And you got your revenge, right? Yeah. Did you get any trophies?
Well, I think I probably got... No, I lost trophies, which was fine because it knocked me back down. But I got enough elixir I got like maybe 35, so paid for my army. And I got, I don't know, 40,000 gold, just a drop in the hat. But I got the 200 elixir. I got all the dark elixir available that he was able to give me, which was 400 or 200 out of 220 out of the 630 that he took from me. That cocksucker.
Yeah, so...
Well, he got his.
Yeah, he got his. Well...
Hey, dog, wake up.
Ellie. So he got his.
We got snoring dogs here in the studio at WBSMT.
Yeah.
ClashClansPodcast.com.
Or as we call them, groupies.
Lumps, yeah, the girls.
Groupies. So that's kind of my approach, my tactics. I think everybody's kind of got their own unique style.
Well, there's Scotty's tactics for you.
Yeah, so
that's how you do your thing.
And I'll share the pictures. I guess I forgot to get the before picture. But check them out. Let me know what you think about my camp. So now you can find us still Clash Clans Podcast.
ClashClansPodcast.com, all one word. We're on the Facebooking.
Yeah, Clash Clans Podcast, all one word.com. And we're on iTunes, so you can download the episodes from there. or the website, but I will link them into the Facebook page. So
say word.
I want to give a shout out to the clan. Thanks, Boots Electric,
Minnesota Nice,
Trinity for the challenge last night. We're working on getting some guests here. As soon as we get the technology down,
we're gonna maybe Skype with some fools and do that. I don't know how to do that. That's
Melb and Nelson.
Yeah.
We want Boots, SF lads, and Gordominators.
SF lads? Is that I was always going S.
Maybe he didn't talk about it, but Gordominator did. So
I don't know.
it's Flads. So all right. Well, thanks for listening. This has been Scotty and Boneyard, episode 4.
Your uncle Bobo and Scotty the Hot, and we're out.
Out. Beep beep beep.
Skittle deep. Skittle beep 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 beep. Skittle beep.